let's move over to UTSA. A lot of accolades, a lot of big time talk about these guys. They're going to be good. 10 on offense, 11 on defense, like basically everybody. The whole team is coming back. Um, I feel like, and Jeff Traylor kind of addressed this a little bit. He said, that they don't eat the cheese. That's what what's his face Sincere McCormick was saying, right? Or was that Rashad Wisdom? I forget exactly what we were saying, but they were saying that Jeff Traylor says it. Don't eat the cheese. Everybody loves you right now, but Traylor said, you look at it. Yeah, we went 7-5, 5-2 in a conference, but there's a couple games where we're just right there. Middle Tennessee won 37-35. Louisiana Tech 27-26. Southern Miss 23-20. Right? It's just the line's very thin. But on the other hand, I think that kind of is an indicator that you're gonna win. You kind of get better. Sometimes you get lucky, and that's fine. Right? You don't ever apologize for being lucky. But whether or not you learn from that luck, like, hey, what put us in a position to almost lose, right? Like, let's clean that up and get better. That's the next step. Those are the next steps. Well, even also that 51-48 game against Texas State. Just a lot of stuff where you're just like, man, you were just right there. But a lot of good teams that got 2 championship games, haven't been in those situations. You need a little bit of luck to win anything. So I don't think they apologize for that. I think you got to look at the passing game, and a lot of it comes down to whether or not Frank Harris can do anything. Not that he's not talented; he's a talented dude. It's just that he's injured a lot. His whole career has been defined by injury. They've had to dip. They've had like the worst QB luck. Um, you know, fourth in scoring, second in rushing, right behind Sincere McCormick, who said he got faster. Yeah, he's gotten lighter and faster. He says. Frank Harris says he's still faster than him though. But the pass game was like sub 200 yards a game. A lot of that didn't really need it because they just run the ball and they can just kind of run forever, give the ball to McCormick and let him ride. But you're gonna need it's very much like UAB. You need a passing game to take those next extra steps, right? Even you look at UAB, they won against Rice because of some clutch passes late. They won against Marshall because Shropshire had 180 right receiving. That's what you need to win. Who's going to do that for UTSA? Is it Franklin, Joshua Cephas? Who's the other guys they have on the roster? The Ogle Kellogg. Got a lot of dudes. Got a lot of talented guys that they got under the previous head coach. Name evades me right now. But can they execute? That's really what it comes down to. That's the big question. A lot of talent. What are they going to do with it? Are they buying? Are they reading their own stories? Are they reading their own press clippings? Are they, just more concerned about how many watch lists they're on, or are they, studying the playbook, doing the things that they need to do, right? They open at Illinois, take on Lamar, Middle Tennessee. Let's just go down, right? Illinois, probably a loss. Lamar, win. Middle Tennessee, win. At Memphis, where's my pin? I lost my pin. I should write this down, guys. Let me see. Got my pin. I got it. I'm going to do this right now so I don't forget what I said. What did I do? I feel like Jim Rome, messing with pages, right? Can you hear that? All right, what is it? Illinois, loss. Don't tell me this pin doesn't work. I don't think this pin doesn't work. Lamar, let's call that a win. Middle Tennessee, win. Memphis, L. You got a UNLV. Let's call that a win. At Western Kentucky, it's basically what it comes down to, right? Do we think Western Kentucky's good? Do we think they're bad? I think I sketched out of Western Kentucky. So I'm moving on over here. This is all thrilling podcastery right here as I go through my notes. I said Western Kentucky is going to beat UTSA. I already called it, guys. So let me update my stuff here. West Kentucky, I'm calling that a loss. You got a Rice. I think you could beat Rice. that's gonna be a tough one. That's at home. Rice can give you a game that can really go either way. And then at Louisiana Tech, loss. Louisiana Tech is good at home. At UTEP, UTEP is weird at home, but I'm gonna call that a win. And then let's go UAB at home, loss. And at North Texas, I think you can beat North Texas at North Texas. So what is that? One, two, three, four, five, six. 6 wins. Was it like 6-6? I think that's reasonable. I don't think I'm being I don't think I'm being rough on them at all. Did I say? Yeah, I was looking back this UAB sketch out that I did here. Yeah, I mean, you can swap either of those, right? That North Texas one. I mean, not North Texas. The UAB one at the end of the season. Like maybe they win that one. Maybe they beat UAB. But or maybe they beat Louisiana Tech, but I think they drop another one. I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't have the feeling. I don't have the good feelings that everybody else has. I think a lot of it just because I feel like everybody's like man, they're so good, they're so amazing. And then I'm trying to think back on what I saw outside of Sincere McCormick that was like, this is really good. Um, some things I did like about the program. They seem prepared, right? They never seem like they're out schemed or something. They seem like they know what they're doing, and that's all good, right? But I felt like they had a lot more talent than I think was evident in the way they played. I feel like they didn't really deploy it the way I expected to see all the time. That said, they're going to get a lot of talent in there because Trailer is plugged into Texas football, Texas high school football, and I think they're just always going to have some talent there. Um, and that talent ends up coming at the expense of like a UTEP, by the way. Let's talk about Tech because I think they're good. I respect that program, Louisiana Tech, and I know everybody's like, "Oh, Louisiana Tech." There's a lot of strong feelings about Louisiana Tech, either for or against, right? But I was talking to Skip Holtz today. I was like, "Hey, look." I was looking back at it. They've just been so consistent, right? In this league, it basically is kind of hit or miss, right? Like you're really good. Like you look at North Texas, right? They were good under Mason Fine competing, but then they just kind of hit a wall, and then they were very bad. And then last year they were just awful defensively. UTEP has some down seasons, but like they went 5-5, and everybody's like, "Well, that was a bad year." 4-2 in the conference, but they were there. They were in the conversation. Nobody ever felt like this team was not good enough because Skip Holtz didn't recruit well enough. They had injuries. They had offensive line injuries here and there. They had COVID related things happening. They just always have talent, lots of talent, some NFL talent. They just got guys all the time. They know how to identify talent. They know how to win. They're always winning over there, even if it's not enough to to satisfy every fan, every Bulldog fan. They're passionate. I think eventually, if Skip Holtz gets run out of town, it's because he didn't win enough. But they win a lot. So all that said, I'm always kind of bullish on Louisiana Tech for those reasons. And again, scanning the roster, a lot of guys coming back defensively. Um, you know, Offensively, they're getting some new guys in. And what did he say? 15? Is that 15 new guys? And the question, right? I alluded to this earlier. Everybody has a question. Just going back, the UTSA question is like, can they play with expectations? People are coming from. Nobody's taking them unseriously now. Looking at them like this is gonna be a good game. Can they meet those expectations? I thought the previous coaching staff, then they had the expectations. They didn't play well under those expectations. They kind of folded. So that's a question. Here, Louisiana Tech. Stated question by the head man himself is it's not about how well we can mesh in our scheme, but how well everybody can play, like, you know, meld together to be a team. Right, 15 new guys. We're looking at our leaders, and he named the two guys with him, Isaiah Graham, Trey Baldwin, as dudes that can help lead the new guys, show them how it's done, becoming a program. And I'm bullish on this. Right, they've integrated transfers well previously in previous seasons. Right. Even at the quarterback position, something that they want to do here, right? They want was it Austin Kendall, big get from West Virginia. I think he was like selling pharmaceuticals, something like that. I forget exactly how I got there. It's crazy. But he quit his job. So I'm gonna go back to college. Luke Anthony, he got injured, the devastating injury in late in the season. his recovery's not going as well as they want. Apparently, he had to have a scope, and so they say, you know what, let's you know go against the plan. The original plan was to not get a new guy. He says a new quarterback, but let's do it. Let's get a new quarterback and see what we got. Monitoring the transfer situation. They got Austin Kendall in. He's been playing well. You think like Driscoll, right? Jeff Driscoll. I forget. There's a bunch of Driscolls. Even like Cody Sokol way back, sort of in the day there. They've been able to get guys into Ruston, have them had success. Even just, they're really good at getting integrating transfer. So while everybody is doing that now, I don't know that everybody has like the institutional knowledge of how to do it well. And again, I was kind of asking Skip like, so how do you maintain this kind of program, right? And he's kind of he had a lot of talking points. They do it fundamentally, socially, educationally. Just basically do a good job building the program. I came in here to build a program. I could have taken 40 transfers and we're saying we're going to win one season, but that's not it. It's paying attention to roster management, paying attention to details. Is how we maintain a program, how we stay competitive, have had good players, that kind of thing. So, whatever you want to quibble with Louisiana Tech, he ain't winning enough for me. I'd have fired him. Cool, but he's won a lot more than anybody else, in this conference. So I like Louisiana Tech a lot. I feel like last year they suffered a lot because of COVID, and we didn't get to see the full potential of this program. Again, they're just always good, and like any team in football nowadays, if you have a quarterback that can do, you're gonna be okay. You're just that's 90% of the battle almost. And whether that's Luke Anthony, a guy that played there and had success and did some good things for them, or it's a Austin Kendall, a guy that did something at a P5 level successfully, right at Western Kentucky. They also got in the dude, is it Marcus Williams Jr. At Appalachian State. I think he ran all over North Texas. I just remember that name. He kind of stood out. So again, they get quality guys that can do it. Um, sort of play. It's not really plug and play, but they have a plan that I think that has had success in the past. So I really can't count out Louisiana Tech. Do I think they're better than UAB? No. On the day, on a day, can they be UAB? Yes. Right. They do travel over there. Might be a big game. I don't know. Football's a funny game, right? Anybody can win that kind of thing, and that could change the whole whatever. UAB, for all its talent and everything, they're not infallible. I kind of talked about their weaknesses, right? Even the seasons that they just kind of dominated. There've been a couple games where you're like, they could have lost that one. That was a close one. They beat Marshall. They whooped Marshall for a large portion of that game, but Marshall had a chance to win late. It wasn't just it wasn't 55-0, guys. UAB can be beaten, right? So, could Tech win this league? Yes, very. They're I don't want to say a dark horse, but they're that second tier. It's like UAB, Florida Atlantic, a little bit Marshall, a little bit UTSA, and then you're like, well, Western Kentucky, if they can score, the way we think they're going to score, and they can maintain that defense, they can be right in there. Louisiana Tech, hey, if they can mesh with these guys, Austin Kendall has a season, they'd be right there. And same thing